Hi, welcome to This Week in Ames. I'm Susan Guiazda. On today's show, we check in with the Ames Police Department. My guest today is Commander Jason Tuttle with the Ames Police Department. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we haven't seen you in a while. I know that's because you've been busy. A lot of things are happening with the police department, but one of my favorite events is coming up fairly soon, and that's the Shop with the Cop program.
Yes, the second weekend of December, we host generally about 100 young guys and gals from our community, and we take them out shopping to one of our local department stores. And it's a great way for us to build relationships with younger people in our community, but it's also a great way for us just to serve in general to our customers.
And this is a program that's been going on for a long time. It's hard to believe the holidays are here. But police officers have been involved in this since its inception, and like you said, it's a really great way for police to connect with children in a very positive way.
It is. You know, we've been doing it for over 20 years, and we generally have representatives from other police departments within Story County that come and help us with the program. And again, it's just a great way for us to get out there and to interact with the youth in our community and hopefully make a brighter holiday season for all the families that are involved.
Well, bright holiday season is somewhat of a topic I wanted to talk about as well. Some things that can happen around the holidays can really put a damper on the season. Burglaries, stolen property, vandalism, all those things can happen right about the time people are leaving for the holidays.
They do. Unfortunately, we generally see a spike in apartment burglaries and some car burglaries during the holiday season. And some of that is attributed to the fact that many of our students leave for several weeks during the Christmas season to go home. And so some of our criminals know that those student housing, some of those apartments are prime places for them to break into and steal their electronic devices and steal other items that may be out in open view in the apartments. And also, as part of the shopping season, people leave gifts and shopping items in their cars in plain view. So some of our criminals will walk around parking lots in our shopping districts and open up car doors and take the items from the vehicles.
Yeah, some things are obvious. Sometimes you just have to remind people, lock your doors, lock your car doors, lock your doors to your home. Also, don't make it so obvious that these items are available. We talked about not having the big screen TV box on the curb.
Right. Yeah, all of us generally will put out our trash after Christmas, and what sits on the curb, all the boxes from the items that we receive during the holiday season. So we encourage people to take some small steps. Burglaries are crimes of opportunity generally. So if you can take that opportunity away from the criminal by locking your door, shutting your curtains when you leave, locking your vehicle, placing things out of plain sight, whether it's in your apartment, house, or vehicle, those are some small steps that you can take to prevent yourself from being a victim of a crime.
Yeah, for people who are leaving for the holidays, even maybe they're snowbirds and they'll be gone for a while, obviously some things you can do to help protect your property. Have a neighbor come in and check on it. But do you want people to let you know?
They can let us know when they're leaving town, and that's generally for our information, so that we know if something does happen at their apartment or house, we know who to contact in case of an emergency. We try to get out and check some of those locations, but it can be difficult when we have other calls for service, so we won't necessarily guarantee that an officer will be able to stop by while you're gone. But you'll leave your point of contact information with us when you leave town, so we can get a hold of you if we discover something has happened at your apartment or house.
So even as we get into sort of inclement weather, there are probably safety tips that you recommend when people travel, things to take with them, things to do, letting people know when they're going to arrive, just the kind of general basic things that are important.
Right. You know, one thing is if people are going to be traveling, they should always look ahead, of course, at the weather that's coming in Iowa. We never know what we're going to get. It could be a blizzard one day. Plan ahead. We want people to have a winter driving kit in their car that can help them if they get stranded. If they're traveling a long distance, if a student's traveling home, make sure they call their parents before they leave so they get there in a timely fashion.
Yeah, great information. I know that you don't plan to be busy during the holidays, but as you said, there could be a spike.
There could be, and so we're certainly ready for it. We'll be doing extra patrols throughout some of our student housing areas and places where we know that families or students may be gone for an extended amount of time. But again, we also need help from the community. We need people to be on the lookout. If they see something suspicious in their neighborhood, we want them to report that to us so that we can respond. But again, if we can take that small opportunity away from some of the criminals, we can maybe prevent some of these crimes from occurring.
Now you mentioned contacting the police department. There is a non-emergency dispatch number. What number should they call?
Sure, non-emergency number is 239-5133.
All right. Also, just for those who are interested, you have very active Facebook and Twitter accounts. Those have a lot of information on them. Obviously, we like people to check those as well, our city website, and of course, Channel 12.
Right. We'll also be posting some of this information on our social media pages so that we can remind people and get the word out.
Well, thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Just remember, our City of Ames website is a great source of information about holiday safety tips, as well as snow route information. Remember, as we get into the colder months, if you're parked along a snow route, you'll want to pay attention to when the snow ordinance goes into effect. That'll become increasingly important as we get into December and January. Again, that website, cityofames.org. Well, that's our show for today. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for This Week in Ames.